We're here in Rio de Janeiro, and I guarantee you this will be an unforgettable experience as you get to taste the food, the culture, have experiences with the historical aspect of Brazil. That's right, one of the major parts of the African diaspora. And guess what? We want you to join us here in Brazil. The views are amazing, the food is spectacular, and the experience is unforgettable. And the only thing that's missing is you. Join us.
Hello family, welcome to the Africa Diaspora News Channel. My name is Lynient Akotonou making this report. When President Donald Trump took over, he did promise to do a whole lot of things. I mean, he had a list. And then when he came, he kept giving it to us. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. Some countries were banned, some countries where immigrants became the focus. He started chasing them out. Illegals kept running, for some self-deported, some ran for their dear lives, while some were captured by ICE, and we know the ongoing situation. Well, there is this situation between Haitians and the US and President Donald Trump's administration. Now, late last year, he promised to terminate temporary protected status for Haitians. Now, temporary protected status is supposed to give security, covering to citizens or nationals of other countries who were not safe or just had something going on in their countries, and at that point in time they weren't safe, and they decided to give it to them in the US. So for the period or a season, they stay in the US until everything dies down in their own hometown, and then they are free to go back. Now, that's what the temporary protected status is about. And in 2010, we know what happened in Haiti, how that the natural disaster, the catastrophic disaster, led to the unaliving of over 200,000, according to reports. Over 300,000 were injured, and 1.5 million, according to reports, were displaced. Infrastructures gone, government, ports, roads, everything gone. 2010, right? And this led to so many of them migrating to the US, and the US did confer on them the temporary protected status that you can stay here for a while, get your family together while maybe your government works on your own land, and then you go back to enjoying your own land. But they've been there for a while, right, since 2010. And one of the things President Donald Trump promised to do when he came to power was to end this temporary protected status. He said he was going to terminate it. We know about the immigration policy and the ICE agents going around deporting immigrants. If they catch you, they detain you, rough handle you. And, so some people just decided to self-deport. But for these Haitians, it's kind of different because they were given the status, right? They were conferred the status as a protection against the insecurity in Haiti. Now, Haiti, according to reports, is not absolutely free. Yet it's not. There is still gang violence, insecurity in the state. I mean, it's a whole lot going on in Haiti at the moment. And Haiti is not completely, totally free, as President Donald Trump said it is, according to reports. So family, this temporary protected status, according to President Donald Trump, was supposed to expire on the 3rd of February 2026. That's a few weeks ago. But a judge, kind of turned the whole thing around, and it gave relief to some of these Haitians because they thought they were going to be deported to their country that wasn't safe. The natural disaster, that's the earthquake that happened in 2010 in Haiti, saw the migration of over 57,000 people. And right now, the number is above 350,000 individuals in the US, according to reports. So the number has actually increased from that 57,000 to 350,000. So many joined, of course. And how is it going to be for those who have built their lives in the US, for those who have done one thing or the other? They've established themselves in the US. Let's read the story, family. Family, this is a report according to NBC that federal judge postpones Trump's administration's termination of TPS for Haitians. Now, temporary protected status for more than 300,000 Haitians was set to end Tuesday. The Trump administration said it will take the matter to Supreme Court. The order from the U.S. District Judge Ann C. Reyes of the District Columbia pauses Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's termination of temporary protected status for Haitians, pending judicial review. Now, during the stay, the termination shall be null, void, and of no legal effect, Reyes wrote. Termination, therefore, does not affect the protections and benefits previously conferred by the TPS designation, including work authorization and protection from detention and deportation, and the valid period of work authorization extends during the stay. Now, Reyes also denied the government's motion to dismiss the case against determination of TPS without prejudice. Now, family, another person argued as the Homeland Security Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, Trisha. She argued that TPS is being used by the Haitians under its protection as an amnesty program with the blessing of previous administrations, though this was not its intended purpose. Temporary means temporary, and the final word will not be from an activist judge legislating from the bench. Wow, that's a lot. Now, family, this is what TPS is about. TPS allows foreigners to remain in the United States when they might not be able to return to their own countries safely, and it often applies to countries experiencing war, strife, or natural disasters. And we know that Haiti experienced natural disaster in 2010. So it was set to expire for Haitians on Tuesday, that's the 3rd of February. But they said that Haiti remains an extraordinarily dangerous place marked by widespread gang violence, rampant disease, lack of access to clean water, severe housing instability, and absence of a functioning government. And Reyes' order, they continued, recognizes the grave risks Haitians TPS holders would face if forced to return, and ensures they can continue contributing to their communities and supporting their families. Well, family, President Donald Trump argued that this TPS has become a magnet for these guys. So they do not have a functioning government. Family, we know what happened in Haiti, right? In 1492, when Christopher Columbus landed on the island of Hispaniola, modern-day Haiti. It opened that land up to European colonization. France came. France did a whole lot. Turned that land into their commercial market, used the people. That's the Taino people. The number of the indigenous people reduced because they were used as slaves to farm for these guys, to work for these guys, to produce for these guys. Due to the slavery, the brutality, their numbers reduced. And when they discovered they couldn't keep up, what they did was to import Africans into Haiti in their numbers to continue this slavery. Now that happened for decades. I mean, France ruled. Their colonization, their colonial rule in Haiti, according to report, is from 1664 to 1803. That's a whole lot. And then it was in 1791 that their eyes opened. They fought for change, for independence from that time to 1804. Finally, they got their independence. They were finally free. Not free. Guess what France did? France made them pay for their freedom. We are not talking about that today. But they fought for over 10 years. They kept fighting. We don't even want to talk about the number of people unalived during that period. Since then, it has been from one struggle to another, from one insecurity to another, from one challenge to another. And then added to it is a natural disaster. So this natural disaster is what led to these guys leaving their country to the US, and they were granted this temporary protected status. But the President Donald Trump's administration is arguing that it is temporary. So it's supposed to be temporary. These guys have overstayed their welcome. But Haiti is not free, according to what they're saying. It's what they're saying is not adding up, right? They said it's free, they can now go back, but Haiti, according to reports, is not free. And trust the President Donald Trump's administration, they denounced the ruling as lawless activism. That's what they called that judge's rule. Lawless activism. But how is it going to be? It's a battle, right? A legal battle. The Haitians who have built their lives in the US, some of them are mixed up with some Americans. They've gotten married. They built their lives there. How is it going to be for them? What do you have to say about this story, family? While this legal battle continues, we're going to see how this pans out. Comment your thoughts and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. My name is Lynient Akotonou. Thank you for watching.